to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. I'm Marcus, and today, remotely, I have my guest host, Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Amy's working from home today, so we've got her remote, and glad to have her at, actually, it's an early morning for us, but not for our guest, who's on the other side of the nation, and we want to welcome Mia.
Hi, Mia.
Hello.
So Mia has been listening to our show. How did you find it?
Mm-hmm. You know, I was looking for podcasts for sugar daddies, and I ran into yours.
So you typed in sugar daddy?
I did. First I did books, and then I did podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it
so
came
much
up.
better.
Yeah, so much better.
Well,
very nice.
Mia and I have been communicating. She responded on our website, secretsofasugardaddy.com. So, you know, you can listen to our show there, or you can send us a message. We always try to get back to those as soon as we can. I've got a few that I still am trying to respond to, so just be patient, but we'll get back to you. And I've got a lot of guests lined up. But today is Mia's turn, and we want to hear her story on how everything is going and how long she's been on the site and all that good stuff. So why don't you tell us a little bit of how you became a quote-unquote sugar baby and the sites that you use?
Yeah, I guess I should start with, I am in an open marriage, and we've been open for about 4 years, and originally it wasn't like a sugar daddy thing. First, I just started dating. It was like really exciting to get out there.
So you're legally married?
Dating. I'm legally married.
And how long have you been married?
17 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's amazing. That's really something.
Right?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. So, and I'm 44. I have 2 kids. And I actually happened into the sugar baby thing. I had been dating lots of men, and it was really like rebound. How many men can I see? How many men can I fuck? And then I kind of settled on one man. I'm a psychotherapist, and he was a former client. And we started to get serious, and this is just, I don't know if this is more information than you need to know, but my husband came to me, and he had started a new business, and I knew the business wasn't doing well. It wasn't picking up, but he told me that he had spent all of our savings, and we were pretty deeply in debt.
Oh my goodness.
Ouch.
And so the man that I was seeing at the time, he was really sweet and quite well off, and he just offered me an allowance. So I was like, yeah. And it helped out so much. And I don't know, it changed the dynamic of our relationship. It definitely deepened it. And
with your sugar daddy or with your husband?
Less so with my husband.
Less so with your husband. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
can we?
So more so.
All right. So what I want to know, the story is already very fascinating to me, and I cannot wait to hear where this goes. But at what point in your marriage led up to, hey, you can go see other people?
The open marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it started. We were just curious, and we thought, we can bring another woman into the relationship, or at least the bedroom. And then we thought, we'll try a man. And it was always a little bit unsatisfying. And I always felt a little like, okay, the other one doesn't really need to be there. I'm not like super attracted to women, and he's definitely not attracted to men. And so he kind of put it off for a long time. And I talked about opening it up, and we tried the whole lifestyle thing.
Okay.
And I mean, it all comes down to, you can't like 4 together. It's just someone is taking something for the team. And it was just like, and so that didn't really work out. And so I was really encouraging him to open up the marriage. And he was totally inundated with this business and working all the time. And I kind of felt this change in our relationship just as far as how much time we were spending together. And so I ended up pushing for it and ended up, getting him to agree. I had started seeing this man, and first I was just seeing as many men as possible.
You had your hall pass, and you took advantage of it.
Totally took advantage.
Now, did you discuss these encounters with him?
Did I what?
Did you discuss the encounters with him?
Oh, a little bit. He knew if I was going out to see someone. I didn't really fill him in with the details of what we did and what positions we were in, how it was. But he doesn't get jealous really. And I felt like it added to our sex life a lot too. It was just different. It was more exciting. Yeah, so it definitely changed things, and I just loved it. And so from there, I just wanted to get a little bit more intimate with somebody, and I felt like everybody I was meeting wasn't that kind of relationship, and I wasn't interested in it being that kind of relationship. It was like Tinder hookups. Sure. And so an old client got back in touch with me, and there was always an attraction when we were seeing each other or when he was a client. And we agreed to just go on a date, and it really worked out well. And we just agreed to keep seeing each other. So we saw each other for about a year, and about half a year into that time, my husband came to me and told me that, and he just stepped up, and definitely it intensified the relationship. And I felt like I could let my guard down, and I felt more trusting of him, and it just felt more intimate, and it felt more erotic almost. I don't know why, but it did.
Yeah.
So you stumbled into a sugar daddy, and he was a past client. Now, a psychotherapist, do you deal with relationships? Is that what you deal with?
I did. He had some depression, and that was what we worked on. And had recently gone through a divorce, and nothing big. And he left happy and satisfied. And
so would you say that your relationship now, so you're still seeing him, so your relationship now, how? No, you're not seeing him.
No, because he wanted to get married, and I just...
well, that's a problem.
But so you're now on Seeking. Are you? Okay. How are you?
Well, I moved recently. So where I was living before, I didn't know about Seeking. And there's this other site called Sugar Daddy Meet. So I tried it, immediately met someone and started something with him, and, got off. And so it was kind of like a one-man thing. And the second guy, sex was really good, but I felt like the intimacy wasn't really there. But I didn't need the intimacy, honestly. I wasn't like, that was, I don't know, the whole getting
yes. It's kind
really
of it is. It's very erotic. I feel the same way sometimes. I'm like, if I had a regular relationship now, it's kind of boring almost, because it's like,
I totally agree.
Very empowering.
I've tried hooking up with people. I even tried one sugar daddy. I liked him so much. I was infatuated with him. And I said, because I like you, let's just stop doing the pay allowance thing. And it totally changed.
It kind of ruined it, didn't it?
It totally ruined it.
Yeah, I've experienced that before too.
And anyways, I was like, I don't know, I kind of have to spend my time with men that can afford to do this right now. And then he changed, and I'm still infatuated.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a little crush.
I know.
It happens. They are. They're fun.
Crushes are fun.
So you just do allowances then, or do you do pay per meets, or
You
do
know,
you do
and the very first time I meet, it's always pay per meet. And then if we build something and we like each other, then it goes to an allowance.
Gotcha. So do you get to travel with these guys at all? Do you get to, do they take you to spas? No.
I can't even do overnights with them. No, mostly it's about fucking. Even like going out to dinner.
Yeah.
It's just too much time away from the family. So I just have a high sex drive, and it's too super turn on and erotic to meet up with these guys. So that's what I like to do.
That's what you like. Yeah.
Very similar to Angie's story.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's actually what a lot that I meet do want to. And I have high requirements. And I hate to say it, but the high requirements often come back to money.
Right. So let's talk about that. Let's get into that, because that's what we're trying to help people realize is, there's a lot of guys right now out there who are, I would say, younger, and they don't have a lot of money, and they think they can be sugar daddies, but like a true sugar daddy, I think we need to help people understand what a true sugar daddy is and what that consists of. Now there's different levels, obviously, but for people like you and me and, like Angie and all them, we require higher standards. Yeah. So what are your higher standards?
Well, I usually eliminate guys pretty quickly depending on how much they can afford.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, let's open up that. Let's.
Do you get into that conversation immediately? How do you get into that conversation without wasting a lot of time?
Usually I have to feel like I like the profile. I have to know a little bit about them. So it's not quite so immediate. So we'll talk on the site for maybe I don't know. Sometimes it can be quick. Sometimes it's immediately. You have a great profile and you seem to be what I'm interested in. And so we'll go pretty quickly too. And this is bad. I usually do WhatsApp, but when you do WhatsApp, it's just your phone number anyways.
Gotcha.
So often I'll just do my phone number because I can take a little profile picture. And honestly, there have been so many men that most of them I haven't actually continued even talking with or ever seeing. But the profile pictures
it does big time, doesn't it? It's like, oh boy, what was I thinking?
You can't do that too on WhatsApp or Kick.
Right. So it's based on if they can afford you. Now
it's not completely. That's so shallow.
Hey, no, it's real though. It really is real. I look at I look at how much they honestly make. I know that there's profiles out there that, you can tell by their you can tell by their pictures, their background kind of. I'm not suggesting men. I'm not suggesting that you fake stuff. There are a lot of guys out there that do that.
No way. It doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'll go to a nice house and they'll take a picture of themselves and it's no. I don't know. That happens pretty quick, but it's, I would say the way that they articulate themselves and then like you said, what they're willing to pay. What would you say is a general, I'm not sure where you're at in the country, but what is your, what's the general?
Well, I'm certainly don't ask for the going rate.
Yeah.
Somehow that makes me feel cheap and it's not as exciting.
Yeah.
I want to know that they can afford me. And honestly, we're not getting married or anything. I just am way more attracted to the situation of someone that's paying me a lot. And so, usually from the get-go, I say I'm used to men that offered me really high allowances, and that's what I'm looking for. And there's so many women, beautiful women on that site that are asking for so much less. And so I try that. I try and prime them first, and then what I ask for in a pay per meet situation, and I know, Marcus, you're going to like say, why hurt?
Oh, I've heard it. I've heard it all.
Oh, yeah. He's heard a little bit of everything.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to know that they can pay me $1,400 pay per meet. And then from that point, allowance is kind of negotiated depending on how it's going.
Right. And how many times and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some guys are okay once and I'm good. And some guys really want to continue, and then it goes to allowance. Some guys just want it to be pay per meet, and I'm okay with that if it's enough.
Yeah, it's got to be enough. That is the key. Yeah. I have, so out here, like on the West Coast, it's very different. Like on the East Coast, that's roughly, I was getting 1,000 to 2,000 per meet. Out here, it's definitely different. Right now, it's anywhere between, like just PPM is anywhere between like 500 to 1,000, which really sucks. But it's just
doesn't
because
suck that bad.
Well, it doesn't suck that bad, but there's
a lot that goes into it, though. You have to think about.
Oh, I've taken Amy shopping for a date. I know how much she spends.
Good boy.
Yeah, it's so super fun. Yeah, it's fun time. But it just, I don't know. I think the dynamics out here are a little bit different, but
right, sure, and where I lived before, I think it was different, and I was newer and didn't quite know what to ask. So
that is the scary part, is like figuring out, because you don't want to feel cheap, but then at the same time, like there have been girls, I'm sure Marcus has had this before, like girls be like, I want like 3,000 per meet or something,
I met somebody at a bar not too long ago, and she had just got to this part of the country from the East Coast, from New York area. And she says, well, I'm used to getting 10 grand a month. But she goes, I know that I've relocated, and that's just not even, I'm just not finding that here in this area. I'm like, no, sorry, that's not going to happen.
No, I don't think for anyone out here.
Yeah, we're about a third to a half of that.
I would say even here, it's rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super rare. And that's the unfortunate part. But at the same time, I don't know, it's, dynamics and cheaper. It's cheaper living out here a little bit. We're not in California, so California. Brandon or Brian. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm so bad with names. Brian from the relationship podcast that we did.
The Great Love Debate.
Great Love Debate. Yeah, he said it's common. Like what he was saying, 10,000 out in California. It's pretty common. Yeah. So, but I mean, you have to have that out there. It's one of those things. But so let's get back to you, Mia. So now what does your allowances look like? Is that just a one-time a month thing?
Yeah. One time a month seeing them. Ideally I want to see them once a week. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But if I'm seeing them once a week, it's usually around 5,000. Yeah. And then they, if I only see them once in a month, I'm like, you don't have to give me no, for sure.
Yeah. So you're not trying to get them for everything they've got. It's just, based on how often they're
just trying to be fair.
Right. Yeah. Trying to be fair.
So how many men do you find that you're juggling at any one time? Because I know Angie's number, and it's a lot.
No, that's not me.
I said Angie. I said Angie.
Oh, Angie. Oh, gosh. See the A names.
Oh, right. Yeah.
My other co-host.
Yeah. Angie can do.
I'm usually doing like 3 or 4 at one point in time. But usually I'll see a few guys like twice a week, different guys. It's not like I have 5 dates every week, and but I'm actively still on the site and talking with guys, because so often you talk and you talk and you talk for so long, and then it never really happens.
They can come and go very quickly.
Yeah, they can come and go quickly.
Sometimes they just disappear.
Yeah.
And you don't know what happened.
Oh. Yeah, that's annoying. That's so frustrating.
It's the same on our end.
That's so annoying.
So yeah, and I just, guys, like, gentlemen out there, if you're listening to this, like, seriously, just let them know. Because if you say that you want an arrangement and then you just all of a sudden like disappear, that's very it's like, okay, well, what do I don't know. You would never do that in a business transaction. So
that's so much easier here. Like you just stop communicating. It's an easy way out.
No, this is what I do. If I say what I want and I don't hear from them, like I immediately don't hear from them. Like, I'm totally okay if this isn't what you're, if this is way too much. My feelings might be hurt, but please just let me know.
Yeah, just a little
Most
bit.
of them
be like,
do.
oh, that's too much. Yeah. Or, like, oh, well, maybe I was something else. I don't know. It just.
Or you're no spring chicken. I can get somebody $300. I'm like, then why are you talking to me? Weirdo.
Yeah.
Oh, so they use that as their out, is that you're a little bit older?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I've gotten that twice.
So do you find that your sex drive, your libido is just as high now as it ever was?
More so than when I was like in my 20s or something. I think something about hitting 40, it changes things for when like way more open-minded, way more into it.
Right. But you also have that, I think it's really amazing that you have that flexibility, like within that openness with your husband, because like the men, most of the men I meet are, they're, in their 40s, 50s, and their wives are just completely shut off, and their wives don't know though. So it's really, I really hope that someday people will be more open and accepting of everything that this is. Because like you said, it's erotic, it's exciting, it does. It like I get like you said, I can't go on a regular date really.
Is your husband dating? Is your husband dating around?
I feel bad. I've like brought him women because he's so busy and he just doesn't put any energy into it. Definitely have a higher sex drive than him. Like he's good once a week, which is fine.
Now, what's his age?
He's 3 years older than me. Okay. So he's 47 now.
Okay.
Almost 47.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I mean, our sex life is great. I feel like he so knows how to turn me on. It doesn't like have to do with fucking other men. It has nothing to do with it. It doesn't take away my feelings for him. It's like, that's why I just feel like people are not meant to be monogamous.
Yes.
Because it just really, you can love one person and you can have fun with another person and you can love two people. And
how many years were you in that committed part of the relationship before he gave you the hall pass?
I guess it was 13 years.
13,
14. Yeah, 13 years.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Very nice. That's really amazing. That's so cool.
Now,
so
go
Marcus.
Well, I was looking, I have her profile pulled up and looks like it was, did you just start in May of this year? About 6 months ago or so?
I just started in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I just moved here and I don't know how I heard about it. Maybe it was just an online search, I'm sure. Sugar Daddy Me was a little bit strange. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I'm actually on that, but I don't ever check it. So
you are.
I just, seeking is kind of like the way to go. But it'd be nice to try out.
They really have a corner on the market, don't they?
Yeah, I think they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's getting overly. It's getting. I think it's getting oversaturated. And it's, so now it's like, it's getting just harder, whereas probably when when you first started, and because it sounded like we both kind of started around the same time. It's just changed
Seeking
a lot,
arrangement or sugar daddy?
Sugar dating. Like it's
sugar
changed.
dating. Right. Yeah.
For sure. So, but I don't know. Maybe there'll be a better platform that'll come out. Get more of the rich men and less of the wannabes.
Before I did this God website, it was called Lush. I think it was called Lush. And it's just for like people that make a lot of money. And so I found a few sugar daddies there, but a lot of times I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm just looking for another person that makes a lot of money. Like, okay. Goodbye.
I mean, what was the TV show that they matched? It was the Matchmaker, Millionaire Matchmaker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that one where they tried to, find millionaires, people to date? Yeah. So that's kind of, I guess that was kind of
probably how it all came to be.
No, it's called Lux.
Lux. Oh, I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember Lux.
Is it still? Is it still there?
It is. It wasn't too long ago that I tried that out. Okay. It was right before Seeking Arrangement.
So what's your plans? Are you just going to continue on the site and just see where it takes you? I mean, what kind of people? Are you meeting any good contacts? That's usually what happens. Like people that can actually...
We winter somewhere else. So it's kind of a juggling dynamic. And so we'll leave in January. And I'm not really sure what the market is there because I've just had a few solid sugar relations. And they both were pretty high, but I don't know what the general market is.
So you'll have to change your location on your profile then, and then you're see what you can find down there. Interesting. When do you start that in January?
In January.
So you'll be doing for about 4 or 5 months or so?
Yeah, we come back in June. Yeah.
Okay, June, so almost 6 months then. Well, that'll be interesting to see.
Our kids have to go enroll in new school, and this is the first year we've actually tried it. So
oh, okay. All right. Well, you'll definitely have to let us know how that goes because I'll be interested. I've wondered if I moved somewhere to a different market on how if I would just pick up right where I left off, or am I starting over? Or anyway.
That's the thing. Like, it's a lot of work. Like,
it is.
You put in a lot of hours doing this, and a lot of women don't factor that in. And a date is like a full day taken away, almost, or at least like 5 hours.
Yeah, it feels like it because you're already thinking about it, and you're kind of trying to wrap everything up and getting prepared for it.
And women have to get ready.
Yes, they do.
Do her hair and her makeup, and then travel, and then spending time.
Yes.
Do you meet most of on the initial meet? Do you just go for coffee or drinks, or what do you do, or you just kind of leave it up to them?
I will usually do like drinks, and then have the option to
continue the arrangement. Yeah, to pursue it further.
Yeah.
So obviously, well, I say obviously, maybe it's not so obviously, you can't really take them back to your place?
No.
That wouldn't really be an option.
No, it's usually a hotel. I don't love to go to their houses just because that's me alone. Like, until I know them well.
Yeah. So then it usually involves hey, I think this would work, or there's some chemistry. So basically, you would just continue it at a hotel, or just go from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to events or concerts or anything like that, or it's just pretty much?
Sometimes dinner, but usually I just have a few hours.
Yeah. So you're kind of on the other side.
It wasn't like that with the first man that I was dating at all. but now that it's part of what I do.
Yeah, there's not as many married women out there doing this as there are married men. Obviously, there's much more married
and
men
I'm
doing this.
super open about it. The first thing I say is we're in an open marriage. And I understand if you're not like into that. Because some men are like, whoa, I don't want to deal with the possibility of your husband coming after me, which never would happen. But, some men are just weary.
Well, and then too, Amy finds a lot of men that are really, even though they say they're not looking for a relationship, they really are. So your situation wouldn't be conducive to really the reason why they're on the site. So that would kind of weed out people.
I don't tell men right from the beginning all I'm interested in is intimacy, but I do tell them I have time restrictions, and I ask them how they want to structure meeting up. And, I'm open to if somebody wants to continually go out to dinner, but it's their time and what do they want to do. So.
Yeah, I know me personally, I like a more full experience, but there are times that I have an hour, you have an hour. Let's
for sure.
Right. Yeah. Which fulfills that side.
Right. That's the important thing. Everyone's sleep satisfied.
Yes, for sure.
So what's some advice that you would give people that are new on the site? What are you finding some maybe things that maybe you've met some people and you're like, wow, if I would have just kind of asked these questions or dug a little deeper, maybe I wouldn't have wasted my time? Or what kind of experiences are you finding?
There are men that actually know in their minds they're never going anywhere with it, and they just want like as much of your energy as they can possibly get. And like, I don't know that from the get-go. And it's really hard for me to sort of figure out who these guys are. I'm pretty open, and usually they're like, okay, let's meet on Wednesday. And then, oh, I had a work meeting or something like that. It's so annoying. So it usually takes, because it can be a long time just getting to know each other online. And then that's so how do you avoid that? I'm not quite sure, but.
Do you talk to them on the phone before you meet them, or are you just through text?
Yeah. I'll talk to them.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know why, but I've kind of just done messages and texting. And if I would just grow a pair and talk to them on the phone, I would have I would have not wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, you can tell so much from somebody's voice, and
yeah,
they actually are almost always so different than what you would think.
We're anticipating.
I was talking to this one woman online, and she just immediately called me, and I was like, we had just started talking, so I picked up, and the conversation was horrible. But you know what? I went on the date anyway, and it was horrible. It really was. It was no different than the conversation we had on the phone. And I just wasted my time, so that was kind of a learning lesson. It was. I should have gone with my gut. But hey, I have a story. So.
I haven't felt like anybody had actually met up that was like somebody that, I don't know, I haven't like met up with somebody and then been like, nope, I don't want this to happen. I think I vet pretty well, except those freaking guys who it never amounts to anything. That's so annoying.
Meaning they meet you and then they just never call back, or what?
No, meaning like we talk forever and I keep putting energy into, okay, let's meet up. And it just, never happens.
Yeah, there was somebody I was very interested on the site. We've been messaging for on and off for a year now. And now I was in and out of arrangements, and so she was too. But this last time I was on, we finally agreed to meet, and then something came up and she couldn't meet, and then the next weekend something came up again, and then finally, but she called me and we had a great conversation. She apologized, and then the next weekend we were supposed to go out on Sunday, and she was so hungover that she was sick. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Like, this is just not going to happen.
You actually stepped away for that one.
Yeah,
I
messaged her and said, look, you tell me a time and a place, I'll be there, no questions asked. But otherwise, I'm done. I'm not going to waste any more time. And I haven't heard from her since.
Good.
Which I'm really disappointed because she was a good profile, and talking to her on the phone. And you know what? She's listened to every episode that we've put out. And she's probably listening to this one.
Oh, wow.
And she had the look I was attracted to. I mean, there was so many things. That's why I kept talking to her for over a year. But I mean, if you cannot, if you just are that irresponsible and you just can't keep a date, then I've got better things to do.
Yeah, for sure.
There's other fish in that sea.
Yeah, next. It always they come and go, and that's, I don't know. I wish girls like that would just disappear. They just need to,
right.
They ruin it for the rest of us.
So
everyone
do you, so Mia, do you reach out first ever, or you just wait for them?
Sometimes usually I wait for them. Sometimes I'll see somebody has like viewed me or favored me. And sometimes I'll respond to the guys who have favored me. That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Otherwise, I wait.
Do you when you do your searches on there and you're looking at men, do you find that you just seeing the same old ones over and over and over, or is it refreshed?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I see a lot of the same ones.
Same guys, probably.
But for me, the girls turn over.
Really. Oh yeah, they do. I don't search much. I usually respond, and I just don't know. So it seems like there's an influx of men all the time.
Okay. So I know that when I do a search and I'm looking for somebody to talk to, I always go to who's online now. So do you keep your profile just on even though you're not on there? Maybe, or just keep the app open or whatever?
Sure. No, I never done that.
Yeah. Because I'm looking, because what I found is, as I'll message people that haven't been on there for 2 or 3 days or 5 days, and it's very low response rate. Whereas if you message somebody that's online currently,
interesting. Yeah. Sometimes I'll see, like, I'll message somebody back or something, and I see that they're online, and they don't say anything.
Right?
What's going on?
Look here, answer me now.
Yeah.
Why are you not responding?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see Amy online all the time, and then she says, "Oh, I'm never on there." I'm like, bullshit, I see you on there now.
No, Mike, don't even. No, I don't. I might be up, like, so if
I'm saying if your app is open, maybe that's what's causing it to show online.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Because, like, I go to my phone, and if I don't, I just close out of the window. But you have to, like, open everything up, and you have to actually, like, click X. So you have to X all your web browsers that are open. Like, I think that's what it is, because honestly, I'm really not on there a lot. Like, I'm really not.
But it's funny because the girls say that. I'll say, well, so are you still on the site? Oh, I'm hardly ever on there. And I see them on there all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just false or...
If your browser is left open, it says that you're active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, then if you're searching and you're looking to get responses, then I would encourage you to leave that browser open then, because that's the ones that men are responding to.
That. I didn't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
So even if
Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
That's so bizarre. So on my phone, if it's on the website that I'm on a different, like, I'm Gmailing or something else, it shows that I'm on. Oh, that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let me see if you're on right now.
Because I think I'm always on, then, because I always have it open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because it's like because people will message me and I'll check it. Like, if I check it, they'll be like, oh, I don't know, like a day later or something. they'll be like, well, why didn't you? Oh, I'll have like a bunch of messages from them. And they're like, well, why aren't you answering? And it's like, I'm not on, but it shows, I think it just shows that I am on. So that's how I came to that conclusion. But I mean, I'm not, I can only handle like 2 people at a time. So
right.
That's about all I've got time for.
Yeah.
So.
And then do you get off the site completely, or you just leave your profile open and don't really check it?
I'll deactivate it if I do get back on. It's just because sometimes I don't know, like I don't have social media and I'm not I just don't follow the norm of what everyone else is doing. All right. But I get bored sometimes. So I think I just like look, I don't know why I look on there, but it's almost
fascinating.
Yeah, it's almost second nature. I'm like, I wonder like what's on, and, you know, what kind of people, because the people like cycle. They tend to cycle through depending on the time, and it's just interesting sometimes. And,
you know, I've met people who are still in my life to this day that I met 5 years ago, and they were literally on the site for like a month. They opened their profile and then they closed it a month later, and they've never been back on the site. So you just never know who you're going to run into. And there's a girl that I've dated kind of on and off for 5 years, and she'll disappear and she'll do her own thing. Then she just comes back and like, hey, what are you doing? Just, you know, like we never stopped talking for 6 months. And hey, we should go grab sushi. I'm like, where have you been? But anyway, it's just the way it is. Yeah. But yeah, she was only on there like a month, and that's it. And deactivated her profile and have never been back on.
Well, I understand why guys do it, because you guys you have to pay for it. But for women, it's just like, but it does get inundating. And I actually got off for a month. I was just like overwhelmed.
Yeah, for us, I mean, yeah, it is. I think it's $100 a month or something like that. And
oh wow,
yeah.
It sounds expensive, but I'm spending that on breakfast for 3 now. But but I don't feel like just paying it, because after a month I've got so many messages and I've got so many prospects that I kind of want to explore. I just don't have time to be
for sure.
But I'll tell you what,
lose track.
I have messages now from some people, and I'm really curious what they say, because I can't read them. I can't read them.
Yeah. You want to wrap this up?
But you know what? I actually may renew my membership just for the show, because we had a guest, Rayanne, and I didn't have much. I had a little bit of interest, but more, I thought her story was more fascinating. I liked her profile, and I told her about the show, and she ended up being a guest, and then we just kept in touch and actually went out on Friday and had a great time. So you just never know what can develop with guests. But I had pretty much responded to her profile solely to get her to become as a guest, because I wanted to hear her story.
Yeah. It's interesting that you're not on right now. You're not activated.
I'm not.
But you could see my profile.
Yeah, I can search profiles and I can read profiles. I just can't message them.
Interesting. You can't message. Okay.
Yeah, unless I make that payment to Brandon. So he can buy his 7th house. No, he does well. I'm very happy that, and it's funny because I was watching an interview from him, and he started the site for himself. Yeah, he was trying to find a good place to find sugar babies, and he wasn't, I guess, happy with what was out there, so he started the site for himself.
Wow!
And it's been phenomenally, I can't say the word, phenomenally successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So find a need and fill it, right? That's the key to success.
Yeah. You know what? I realized you can't talk about money on this site.
Right.
That should be like, everybody knows that.
There's a fine line you have to walk, and it's unfortunate because everything else is becoming acceptable and legal, such as, marijuana and other things.
Right.
But
I know, it's so
to be considered a sex worker and, still taboo, when it
Yeah.
goes on every day, all day, in every city in America and in the world. It's just it's unfortunate that we can't be more open about it.
It's funny for me to like think about like 20 years ago. I could never imagine being in this position. Never. And like I went to graduate school. I'm a psychotherapist. Like, but it's fascinating. I'm like so happy that I'm here right now. But like the judgment that goes into that kind of thing. And like, yeah, I would never think of myself as like a sex worker or, now I'm like, whatever, you can call it whatever it is, but I'm happy and it's fun.
So I'm a member of a country club, and I brought a few really, really attractive females that I'd met on the site with me to some events up there. And all the guys are going a little bit crazy, but they're saying, oh, he's just paying them. Well, you have a wife. You're not paying her. Yeah. I mean, it's the same damn thing. Like, it is. Yeah, there is money being exchanged one way or another. Yes, right? Or even if you have a girlfriend, there's money still being exchanged one way or another.
For sure.
So, I just prefer this, and like Amy too. I just don't think I could ever go back. I'm on. I still am on traditional sites. Are you on any? No. I still am on them, and I'll swipe right or left every now and then just to see them. There's some people that I've kind of been interested in, but it just never goes anywhere. I just cannot get anywhere. It's so tough. And I just keep finding myself going back to the sugar dating lifestyle, and I just really enjoy it because if I don't want strings to be attached, there's no strings to be attached.
Right, for sure.
If I want something to kind of build, even if I meet somebody on the site and I want it to build more into something more intimate or, more of a relationship style, then we can kind of explore that and we can talk about it and go that direction if we want. But it's just, it's not like, it's not expected.
All right. Yeah. No, one thing that I really like about the site is I feel like I need some level of intimacy to be connecting with these men on this level. And I can have it without, any expectation that I'm going to leave my husband, or it's just all set out in the beginning. And I feel like I can open myself more in that situation there. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I really appreciate you coming on today and sharing your story. It's been very fascinating. And I want to keep in touch because I want to hear what happens when you go do your winter residence.
Escapades.
I'm interested to see how quickly you jump in and start meeting people down there and fulfilling the needs that you need.
Yeah. I'll keep in touch for sure.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Amy, for joining me from home. I know you had school and work today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you guys.
Make it into the studio, but I think this worked out fine.
Yeah, I think it did great.
You should have gone so I could see you.
I'm
so curious.
Oh yeah, it gets everyone.
Amy's quite a looker. She's very, very, very cute.
I'm sure she sounds like it.
Yeah. But she has kind of a high, she's in the working world and kind of has to, unfortunately, we still have to keep it kind of undercover, which is unfortunate.
My work is very conservative, so it's just, I can't risk that. So, and because they will do searches and they do deep searches. Just one.
And for a little while, I had an OnlyFans page, and I got a stalker who lived really close to me.
Really?
And, he ended up like videoing some of my videos and showing them to people I know. I know. It just fucked things up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I had something similar. I had a stalker show up in my room.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was really scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. I was shook up.
He's opened the door and came in.
Yeah, he just came in. My roommates had left and I was sleeping because I was working. That's when I was working like 4 jobs. I mean, I was just.
This is when I first met Amy, and we
yes.
I was trying to get her out of the working
right, and
mode.
I had kind of quit talking to him for a little bit. Like I was like the communication had drug off, and we hung out a couple of times, and I like just. I was like, okay, like I just don't have time. I'm not interested. And at that time, I just kind of started seeing Marcus. So I was kind of more focused on that. And this guy like just would not stop messaging me. And I just quit responding. Yeah. And I didn't even know that he knew where I lived.
Oh my God. That's so scary.
Very scary. And I woke up and, oh my God.
He walked right in the front door. How did he even know which bedroom you were in?
Well, that's just it. I am not sure because I remember the dogs barking and like, so I was asleep. I thought it was my roommate. Right. And so my bedroom door is like open and it's pretty like as you walk into the house
in the middle of the night. That's so scary.
No, this was in the middle of the day.
It was the daytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was daytime. I was working. Yeah. So, and when you walk into that house, it's not like there's only like 3 rooms and my room is one of the first rooms that you come up on. So my door was open and I mean, it just was like my dogs started growling and I woke up and was like, what the, oh my God, that's
so what did you do? How'd you,
I kept really calm. It took like 45 minutes to try to get him to leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I called my sister. Like I had dialed, like had my phone on my side and like, was like, okay, like I've got to figure out something. And, I just like trying to get him to like calm down. And he just was, I don't know. I had to calm him down and just, it was so nerve wracking.
Yeah. He just wanted to see you. I mean, it was innocent enough, but it was so like creepy.
Violating.
So creepy. Yeah. He wanted to make sure I was okay.
Ew,
and I was like,
gross.
No, you don't walk into people's houses.
I mean, I've done that. Like I went to somebody's house before to make sure they're okay, but I knocked on the front door because I hadn't heard from them and I was really concerned. And anyway, but I would have never imagined walking in a house.
Well, and it's something else if like, I mean, I'm not like I don't like do drugs. Like, I mean, I guess I smoke a little pot, but other than that, like, I'm not one of these people that like people don't need to really be concerned about me. Like people just don't, I'm not one of those people that definitely you would look at and be like,
handle yourself.
Hey, I can. And I like present myself very well. Like it just, I don't know. Like, so in my mind, to this day, I'm like, what thought process, like what on earth would make you think that I wasn't okay? Like I'm a pretty strong person, so it just was weird. He just, that was the creepiest thing, but I get the stalking. It's horrible. Oh, it's so scary.
It's so horrible. Ugh,
yeah. Gross. Don't stalk men. Don't do it.
Yeah. It's not a good look, man. And you'll end up in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Or with a bullet in your leg.
Oh my God.
You stalked the wrong person.
Dude, had I had like a gun or something, I probably would have pulled it on him. I was so scared. But
All right. Well,
scary.
With that, we are definitely out of time.
Right. For sure. Great story.
Anyway, thanks, Mia. Thanks, Amy.
Yes. Yeah.
Find us.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah. Find us on all the social medias. You guys know where it is: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that good stuff. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.